Welcome to Tombstone, Arizona, a town of legend, lies, myths, and a little history. Kind of a neat town, kind of a very well done tourist attraction. But anyway, we're going to start out at the OK Corral, which is not where the gunfight was, as you probably know. That's it coming up on the right. OK Corral, this is the gift shop, and I don't know. Anyway, there on the right is a copy of the ordinance that created a lot of problems. That's the no firearms in town ordinance. Not really, well, it was not constitutional, but it was done in so many towns, I don't think anybody ever complained about it. I've never seen where anybody filed a lawsuit anyway, saying it was unconstitutional. They just did it, but then life was different then. This is the gift shop, welcome center, little museum in there. I've been in. They don't like me in there anymore because it says no firearms, and I don't go anywhere in this state unarmed. This is a display of C.S. Fly's photos. Now there is a man the world needs to think about. Every picture you've seen of Geronimo out in the field, he took. These were pictures, these are the only photos of the American Indians when they were fighting, an Indian fighting against the U.S. Army. Fly went right into his camp and took his pictures. I've read that Geronimo enjoyed it and enjoyed posing for it, but Fly just went in and did it. He's a photographer. Nobody knows anything about him, but wow, you know, it's kind of interesting to me. Sheriff of Cochise County at one term, and I think it's John Claiborne, Billy Claiborne, one of the Claibornes that was killed at the OK Corral. The only photo of him ever taken was after he died, dead, killed. Fly took it, so it's kind of interesting. Now this park, I have no idea if it was here during the 1880s or it came about later. It looks kind of cool. It's got a bandstand. I think it's kind of cool to have that in a town, a little town anyway. So we're going to go over. We were heading north. We're going to now head south. I want to apologize for the bouncing of the camera. I had a stone bruise or something on my right heel. I was walking with a cane and still limping like hell, and there ain't enough anti-shake in a camera to get rid of that. So I just gimped along here. I have no idea what Tombstone magic is. It's not the kind of place I go. I'll bet you it's not a show. It might be a show, a little, not an actor's a portrayal of something. I don't know. Please notice the sign on this this thing here. Something about Val Kilmer art merchandise. The movie Tombstone, I think, did the tourist industry here more good than anything. And anyway, everything here in town now seems to be geared towards the movie image of Tombstone rather than Tombstone. Kind of interesting. All the characters in all the shootouts and everything. They're supposed to be, the Earps and Doc Holliday are all dressed like they did in the movie Tombstone. That's pretty interesting.
An art gallery.
I want to apologize for spending too long on these little information things. I was hoping you could read them, but most of them you can't. That's just me and my poor camera work, I think.
Pretty much shows.
But this was a bank. It's now a visitor center. It'll be there when you turn around.
Cochise Hardware and Trading.
Anyway, you can tell it was a bank. It looks like a bank. Like I say, it's now the visitor center. But hell, I think it's been everything from the bank to a Piggly Wiggly to a you name it. Now a visitor center. Town doesn't have a grocery store, so they have to go in either Sierra Vista or Bisbee or Benson. So, all right, we came in on 3rd Street, and now we're back to 3rd Street, or 3rd Avenue and Allen Street. Well, I'm recording the audio on this later, and I don't remember what that said, but it was a guy holding 2 guns pointing in opposite directions, and I must have thought it was pretty cool. This is a gun shop right here. I didn't go in. Most of them don't like anybody armed coming in, so I just didn't bother. And I wasn't in the going in the stores mood this day. This poor couple here in front of me, I stumbled over them about 14 times during the probably 45 minute, hour and a half I was there maybe. Alright, that building there is the Campbell and Hatch billiard parlor. That's where Morgan Earp was shot and killed shooting pool. And I'm not sure which one of those buildings it is. There's a blue one and a pink one there. Excuse me, but one of them. I don't like some of their signs. There's a lot of these, just telling you this building's on the National Registry. Just about this whole town is. It's kind of interesting. They're kind of limited to what they can do as far as the architecture or painting and stuff like that, but they can put anything they want in there, and they put in a whole lot of bars and restaurants. But then again, in 1881, there was something like 100 saloons in town. Big Nose Kate never owned a saloon in her life, let me tell you. She was what they used to say in the B movies, she was a dance hall girl. A lot of myth and legend here, and lies. Pure outright. Ain't never happened that way. Look at that. James Earp. Never heard of him, did you? Yeah, he and the other brother Warren were there. James Earp was, to all I can find out, was never anything but a saloon keeper or a businessman. Warren turned into I guess trying to live on Wyatt's and Virgil's reputation. He kind of got himself in trouble, and he got kind of a bully. And a guy in, I think, Wilcox, Arizona, kind of shot him dead in a bar room one night. And that was the end of that. This is 5th Street, I think. Now Virgil Earp was shot and his left arm was mangled, either crossing 5th Street here or crossing Allen. Now, this building here we're coming up on was not finished at the time, and the word is the guy that shot him from up here, I think. Or maybe this is the building where Virgil Earp was staying. I don't know. Kind of hard to keep up with this because I think they changed their signs. But anyhow, this is 5th and Allen, and boy, there was a lot of shooting and killing on this corner, this intersection. Across the street is the Oriental Saloon, where Wyatt was a faro dealer for a while. A guy named Milt owned it, and there's a couple other owners there. Another one named Luke Short was a pretty fair gunfighter in his own right. In fact, there's a sign out in front that says where he killed a guy. I forget who it was.
A lot of places still closed. Boy, I'm glad he owns that and I don't.
This poor town is almost dead on a Wednesday or Thursday during the week. With the COVID-19, it's just shut down. The poor people here are having a tough time making it this year. Last weekend was Eldorado Days and had a 4-day weekend, I think. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no, 3 days. And they were busier than heck, I guess. Well, I come through here and I was going to do this video then and didn't because it was so busy. This place here is interesting, the birdcage. It opened in 1881, burned in 1881, and got rebuilt. And there was a poker game that went on in the basement for at least 5 years, maybe 6 or 7. And there's a sign down there telling you how many $1 million changed hands. And it went on continuously, 24/7. And this is where Curly Bill Brocious killed Marshal Fred White. And that was an accident, by the way. It was ruled an accident in court. But he wasn't the old grizzled guy that you saw in the movies. He was 31 years old. There's a little history of the birdcage. You probably won't be able to read it. It's interesting, though. It was when they reopened it in, I think, 1932. It had been boarded up. It was just like they closed it. They said, everything was there. There was including some money on the table downstairs and cards. So that was kind of interesting. In the movie Tombstone, this is where supposedly the theatrical company performed, because it was a theater. They had a stage, and they could probably seat, I want to say 150, 200 people. This is where the roadblock is to block off traffic through from here on 6th down to 2nd, I think. This is the main portion of town.
Well, thank you.
As you can see, it was a nice warm day when everyone was there. There's even a Harley Davidson store here. No motorcycles, but they got gear. No cowboy hats that I could see. You can buy everything from guns to prop guns to beard, mustache wax, beard oil, Western clothing. There is every kind of gewgaw in this you can imagine for sale in this town.
What have we got here?
I think I even saw some Tombstone honey. And yes, we have bees in this area. This guy here, there was something to do about him skipping out on owing a whole lot of money that owned this building here. I think it was a hardware store or general store. Can't hardly read it as I'm recording this, and I don't remember. Tried to leave it there long enough for you to read, but if you stop it and get you get a magnifying glass, you might be able to.
That would be the store. I like these historical markers. That ought to work. Okay.
Antiques and collectibles, that means it's some old junk. They're getting 52 times what it's worth, I guess. Ooh, look at there. Ken girls. Quite a bit went on. This is back to 5th and Allen. As you can see from what I put up there, there's quite a bit went on here.
Good. Y'all getting back to normal yet?
Well, we're trying.
I come through here Sunday. Busier than hell.
They have 4 or 5 gunfights in that Oriental Saloon daily. Costs $10 to go in, and it ain't bad. But they don't allow me in because I'm armed.
Yeah.
So
That's all I can do anymore.
because all of their actors are armed, even though they're not allowed to have anything in their
Yeah, I
guns.
understand.
And well, there's a funny story about that. When we get on down the street here, I'll tell you.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, you're not going to be here when I'm saying this guy anyhow. So they, last year or the year before, one of the gunfights here in town, a guy got there late and did not check his weapon very well, and it had at least 2 live rounds in it. And he sure as hell shot one of the other actors in the during the gunfight. And the guy that told me about it said it went, another bullet went into a lamp post or something like that. So now the guys with the guns on the street, they can't have anything in them. They're not allowed to take them out on the street. So it's just how it is. This was a cafe. I'll tell you, they had some fine dining in this town at one time. Had pretty much gourmet restaurants. You could get just about anything you wanted. Fresh oysters. One restaurant was they're down here further. One of them, they put out a Thanksgiving menu, and it had everything from fresh game to turkey to beef. A lot of good stuff. Oh, this place here, the Haunted Hotel. I was going to say, Ike Clanton's. I think this is owned by a guy named Terry Clanton, who's a direct descendant, not of Ike, but is a true Clanton. And Terry is a speedway motorcycle racing announcer in Southern California, and he does have a business here, and I think this is it. It was closed when I was there, probably from COVID-19. He probably out in California trying to figure a way to buy his next meal. But hopefully next summer or probably this winter later, it'll be open. I'll go down to meet him again.
Camel and Hatch is behind me.
Oh, this is Campbell's and Hatch Saloon. This is our actually billiard parlor. This is where, as I said earlier, this is where Morgan Earp got killed. And that's what this sign says. Morgan got shot here. And just like the movie, it showed they would come right through the back window. Both he and Virgil were killed by a shotgun. Oh, this is that menu I was telling you about. Pretty interesting too.
Did you see this? Look at that menu. From 1881.
That'd been a $100 menu today at least. Fresh oysters on it. Can you imagine? In 1881, yes, they did. They also had ice cream parlors here. Only they called them ice cream saloon. I think they read there was 4 of them. It's pretty interesting.
What are we here?
What did Doc Holliday say? Very cosmopolitan. In the movie Tombstone. Well, this is the Cosmopolitan Hotel. It's actually behind us. They have these signs turned wrong. They should have them turned to look across the street and see what you're looking at, and then give you the information on what you look at. But city planners, Now
it's wine.
But that's pretty much my little tour of Allen Street. And if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe, as the man says. And we're gonna head on down the road once I get to the end of the block. At the rate I'm going, if I get to the end of the block. This is back to 3rd Street, and I got the bike parked right around the corner here. There must be 4 Arlene stores here in town.
Well, let's see if we can get out of
Wherever
here.
she is, she's doing well.
All right, that is...
Thanks for watching.